name is Shua Smith and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now I know you guys like when I make these childhood videos, but this is a different type of one. Now recently I just decided to go back and just not recently, I didn't decide to do this, but I just wanted to go back. I just was watching just a lot of my childhood shows just like now because it just was coming on and I was like bored as fucking didn't know what to do, so I just started watching a lot of childhood cartoons and shit. I was watching them, I was like, what the fuck? Am I tripping or did I just hear that? Our childhood was dark as fuck. You don't realize until you're older and you go back and watch those shows and cartoons that the amount of jokes and dark shit that is in childhood TV shows and TV cartoons, especially, that was in there. Let me get into it because you probably don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Just before I get into the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on my YouTube channel so I know you're there and for more videos like this. And let's get into this video. I want to hurry up and get into this video because this is like this is gonna be a very dark video. Like I know I'm like you know what I'm saying, but like this is gonna be a rather dark video. Like I'm like it is it's gonna get dark as fuck. Like our childhood was so dark. No wonder why this generation is so fucked up. I didn't want to say that like that. Like, you know what I mean? Not like fucked up, but like, you know, no wonder why the generation is so, you know, different. I mean, even, you know, look what we were watching on TV. Let me get into it. You don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. When I was going back, I was just looking at SpongeBob. Look, I ain't look at SpongeBob in 4 years. Like, for real, I haven't seen an episode of SpongeBob in 4 years, and the episodes changed. They're so different today. But like I was looking back at the episodes from like the ones I grew up off of, in the adult jokes. Like I know you see all over YouTube the amount of adult jokes that are on, adult jokes or adult humor that is on all type of copious amounts of TV shows and movies about all type of kids TV shows and movies and cartoons. But they go right over your head as a child. Like it is insane. When I watch this, let me just talk about this SpongeBob episode, where SpongeBob takes the 2 soaps out of the tub and he hands them to Gary, and he literally hands the 2 soaps to Gary. I know you've seen this episode, and he says, "Don't drop them." First of all, this alone would have just been like, what the fuck did he say? What did he say? Type shit. Like this alone would have just been like, really? Obviously we know what they're talking about, but Nickelodeon wanted us to ensure that he was making the joke we all thought he was talking about, so they made him wink. Don't drop them.
Look, doubloons. Don't drop them.
What else could he possibly been talking about? He hands the 2 bars of soap to Gary and literally says, "Don't drop them," and made sure to add that wink. Made sure to add that wink so Nickelodeon knows what, like, yes, SpongeBob is making a prison joke. This is a kid's show. Life is life. Wow. Also, if you don't know if you don't know what joke I'm talking about by now, you are too young to be watching this. But there are all types of adult jokes and adult humor and all types of copious amount of kids TV shows all across Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, all that. But that's just little adult humor jokes that goes right over your head as a kid. Like when I watched that episode, I thought nothing of it. On that SpongeBob episode, I thought SpongeBob was just handing the soaps to Gary, telling him don't drop them. Ooh, it's funny, he's gonna drop them. No, that's not what the fuck he's talking about. I go back and watch that, you know, 8 years later. No, that is not what that motherfucker was talking about. SpongeBob on Demon Time. But that's not why I made this video. This video is gonna get probably the darkest video I've probably posted on my channel this far. To the point where it's gonna get so dark, I think it's appropriate before I even go deeper into this video to issue like to give a trigger warning for people, like trigger warning for people who like sensitive to like suicide or like anything dealing with like that. Like yeah, we're gonna get that fucking dark. Just before I get into the video, trigger warning for the people who, if you're sensitive to suicide or anything like that, I would recommend clicking off this video before I get into it. But for my people who stayed, you won't believe how many suicide references that are in childhood cartoons, especially childhood cartoons. And like Ben, like SpongeBob, Tom and Jerry, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, like there are so many references of suicide in childhood cartoons. Like I was going back and like I was looking at it, I was researching it. And like the fact that like in some of the cartoons from like the 80s, 90s, like Mickey Mouse cartoons, they actually had guns on, like literally had people shooting themselves in the head, blowing their brains out in a childhood cartoon. Like, also, like, what the fuck? Like, if you don't believe me, like, just here's a few scenes from some of them from the 80s and 90s. Like,
For the Scarlet Pumpernickel to do, but blow his brains out, which he did.
90s, like, this shit should not be in childhood cartoons at all. This should not be promoted to kids. I don't give a fuck. If like I would not allow my child to watch this. Like that's dark. This might be some of the darkest shit I ever seen on fucking TV, let alone a kids show. Make jokes about just like they make a lot of jokes and like suicide references, and then making it seem like you have a choice. Like if you, I told you we're gonna get dark. I told you trigger warning if you're like sensitive to this shit. But like, if your life doesn't go your way and it gets too dark, you have a second option. Like they're making it glorifying suicide. I would not recommend that to be on TV show. Period. Like Adult Swim maybe. You know, like that's R-rated. Like to have that in a TV show. Oh my god. There's so many references as early as like not just in the 80s and 90s, as recent as another SpongeBob episode. SpongeBob had it all. But in this episode of SpongeBob, I don't know when it aired. I think it was like very early 2000s. This episode of SpongeBob, it's clearly was an episode about Squidward being just in a depressive stage and just very in a depressed stage all throughout the episode. And like he literally tries to kill himself multiple times throughout the episode. Like there was a scene where he put his head into an oven. And also just going around Bikini Bottom saying, I just cannot seem to get happy. Just in a fucking dark place. This is a kid's show. This is promoted to children. Like I watched that episode. And there was this one scene where I'm like, that took it too far. Where it literally he like takes a string and like looks like he's about to fucking hang himself.
I can't seem to get happy. Maybe this will help.
This is a kid's cartoon promoted to kids on Nickelodeon. This isn't Adult Swim. This isn't Family Guy. This isn't American Dad. This is adult. This is a kid show. It's SpongeBob. And then at the end, like towards the end of the episode, it has SpongeBob going to Squidward's house, going to check up on him, see if he is still okay. And then it shows Squidward's house just looking a mess. Like the water's just, or like sinks full. Squidward looked like he haven't cleaned or done anything in weeks. You know, like someone who is in a depressive stage house would look, I guess. And then it shows Squidward in the window, taking down the blinds, like shutting the blinds so nobody will see. And then SpongeBob tells Gary, at least we know he's still alive.
Well, at least we know he's still alive.
That just confirms what, like, Nickelodeon's fucking motive with that episode was. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, this is a kid's show. Like, you know what I mean? Same with the wink when he gave Gary those soaps and told him, don't drop them with the wink. Like, you just confirmed your fucking motive of what you was talking about in that this is a kid's show again. Like, there is so many fucking suicide references in TV shows, in adult humor, and like shit that just should not be in kids TV shows and in the cartoons. Now, it just isn't in kids TV shows and kids cartoons. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you been here. A lot of you heard about the nursery rhymes. Like, look at the nursery rhymes we were being sung to as a kid. I don't know if I talked about this in a YouTube video or not, but if I haven't, literally the Ring Around the Rosie that we were sung to, like that all of our friends did when we were like 5 years old. Like, literally, I want you to listen to these lyrics right quick.
Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
That's literally like, if you take like the original origins of that song, that's a nursery rhyme for toddlers, was literally people burning and dying in a house fire. Like, if you look it up, that's the original origins of that song. People burning and dying in a house fire. That's the original origins of that nursery rhyme promoted to kids, children, toddlers. That's not it. I know when we were a baby, when we were newborn babies, like not even in the world, like only been in this world for a couple months yet, our moms were singing us. I mean, they didn't know, you know what I mean? It's nursery rhymes, but it's the origins of it. But the original origins of that song was literally a baby on a stroller hanging from a branch, and then the wind blows and he falls and dies. What the fuck? Our childhood was fucked up in so many ways, and it's the fact that we didn't know. This went over our heads, and like I just realized this now recently. Like that with our childhood, no wonder why this generation is like so dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Also, there's so many more. Look, like the game we all played in school, Hangman. Like, every teacher played this in our elementary school. Don't you lie to me. You know, every teacher played this in elementary school. Every first, second, third grade, we were playing Hangman. First of all, the name Hangman. You know. Why was this in a school setting? Why was this in a child setting? Why was this in a kid setting? Hangman, like they give you a word in like second or third grade elementary school, and you have to, pick the letter. They got like, say it's like a 7-letter word, and you have to guess the letters to the word. You know what I mean? And if you guess the letter right, you keep on going with the game. But if you guess the letter wrong, another part of the man's body gets added to the string, and then if you guess, if you don't guess the word right, the man gets hung. This is a childhood game that we played in elementary school. Our childhood was fucked up and dark. What the fuck? I just had to make this video because I was like, I would never look at SpongeBob the same again. I would never look at any of these childhood shows, never look at nursery rhymes or games the same again after this shit. What the fuck? What the fuck? Wow. This was probably the darkest video I probably ever posted on my channel. Like, I feel like that's like, I might have went too far. Like, don't worry. I'm probably not going to post like another, but like, I'm apologies for me getting this dark. But I had to like, cause y'all like a lot of childhood, like I like on my channel, like a lot of people like talking about childhood these days. I don't know what the fuck, but like our childhood, like I was just going back watching like just SpongeBob and all the other shit that was on TV. I just felt like it. I don't know, and like I was listening to the adult shows, like to the jokes and shit, and I'm like, what? How did that fly over my head at the time? And what the hell? It just will go over your head, but it gets way darker than that, obviously, as you see from this video. That's just about it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on my YouTube video so I know you're there, and I guarantee you the next video will probably be a lot lighter than this. That's just about it for this video. Love you guys, and have a great day, night, or whatever time you're watching this video. See you next time.